picture this. It's 67 AD. The city of Rome is a seething metropolis, a monument to power and excess. And in the middle of it all, you see something that makes your blood run cold. Emperor Nero, the most powerful man in the world, is walking through the forum. By his side, a beautiful young woman draped in silks and jewels. But the whispers that follow them tell a horrifying truth. That woman was once a boy named Sporus. And what Nero did to him is one of the most twisted acts of psychological and physical abuse in human history. This isn't just another story of Roman debauchery. It's a chilling look at how absolute power can turn love into a consuming obsession and a human being into a living doll. Nero wasn't born a monster. He came to power at just 16, and for a time, Romans believed they were entering a golden age. He cut taxes, threw lavish games, and even performed for the people. But power has a way of twisting the soul. And by 65 AD, something inside Nero had snapped. Perhaps it was the paranoia, the isolation that comes with knowing no one can ever challenge you. Or maybe it was the loss of the one person he truly loved, Poppaea Sabina. She was beautiful, intelligent, and ambitious, and Nero was consumed by her. Their affair was a scandal, but it quickly became an obsession. He divorced his wife Octavia and married Poppaea in a ceremony of unprecedented luxury. But even that wasn't enough to satisfy his need to possess her. Ancient historians describe Nero's behavior becoming more and more erratic, more possessive. He would fly into rages if anyone so much as looked at her. And then, in 65 AD, in a fit of uncontrollable anger, he struck her. Poppaea, pregnant with their second child, died from the blow. The man who commanded an empire had just destroyed the one person he truly cared about. Poppaea, my love, forgive me. Come back to me, please. The grief that followed wasn't just emotional devastation, it was a complete break with reality. And then Nero saw him, a young boy in his household named Sporus, and he bore an unsettling resemblance to the dead empress. In Nero's broken mind, he saw a chance to undo the irreversible, to bring back what he had destroyed. The boy was male, of course, but for a man who believed he was a god, that was a minor obstacle. What followed was an act of calculated cruelty. Nero ordered his physicians to perform surgery on Sporus, to make him more feminine. It was a dangerous, painful, and irreversible procedure. But it wasn't just physical mutilation, it was the systematic destruction of the boy's identity. When he recovered, Nero announced something that shocked even cynical Roman society. He was going to marry Sporus. He gave him Poppaea's name, Sabina. He gave him her old jewels. He gave him her status as empress. But all of this luxury came with a terrible price, the complete and total erasure of his original self. Every morning, Sporus woke up in a room decorated to remind him of a dead woman he'd never met. Every conversation required him to pretend he was someone else, to have memories that weren't his own. For 2 years, Sporus was forced to live this grotesque fiction. When Nero's rule finally collapsed, Sporus was left vulnerable, a living symbol of a tyrant's madness, passed from one powerful man to another like property. When the new emperor planned to use him for public humiliation in the Colosseum, Sporus made his final choice. He took his own life. At barely 20 years old, he finally escaped the grotesque theatre that had consumed his life. His suicide wasn't a tragedy of a weak man, but a final, defiant act of a person who refused to be stripped of their dignity. He chose his own death because it was the only thing he had left that was truly his own. The story of Sporus is a haunting reminder that behind every grand historical narrative, there are individual human stories of suffering, survival, and a quiet, desperate fight to reclaim a lost identity.